Are Sachin Pilot and Prashant Kishor all set to join hands in Rajasthan? Will Pilot form his own party? I'm Barkha Dutt, you're with the Mojo story. Our focus today returns to Rajasthan, where both the Congress and the BJP have a leadership challenge ahead of the assembly elections. But for the Congress, it is one that is played out in public domain. Sachin Pilot has set three conditions, and none of those conditions have been acted on as yet by Ashok Gehlot, his bete noir, and somebody he wants to see replaced. Will the Congress do that? We simply have no idea. At the moment, it is Mr. Gehlot who enjoys the dominant support of the legislators. But at the same time, reports suggest and sources confirm that Sachin Pilot has hired the services of political consultancy IPAC that was, of course, founded and is owned by Prashant Kishor. So Mr. Kishor, otherwise known as PK in political circles, has always argued that the IPAC functions autonomously. Is anybody buying that? And what will be the convergence of the Pilot and PK factor in Rajasthan, if anything at all? A lot to talk about as we ask whether Sachin Pilot will go the way of, let's say, Amarinder Singh. Will he join the BJP? Will he stay within the Congress? What might happen next in Rajasthan? Let's introduce our guest on the program today. Joining us is Rashid Kidwai, one of India's best political journalists, prolific author, and someone who knows the Congress better, in my opinion, than any other journalist. Great to see you, Rashid. From the BJP, we're joined by its senior leader and national spokesperson, Asif Bhamla. Good to see you, Asif bhai. Also joining us from Rajasthan, Avinash Kalla. He's a journalist on the ground in Rajasthan, very keen perspective on the political goings on in the state. Good to see you, Avinash. Also joining us, the never say die Congress supporter, Tehseen Poonawalla, but with a caveat, warned last time we were talking about Rajasthan that the photo ops that suggested that problems had been solved have not been, and now it's clear that they really have not been. And also joining us is Yashwant Deshmukh, our favorite political pundit and psephologist, who Sea Voter, as always, has very juicy leads for us to try and understand what is actually happening among the people and the sentiment on the ground. All right, let me get first a kind of comments in, if I can. Tehseen, what's going on? You think Mr. Pilot and Mr. Prashant Kishor joining hands is something the Congress should be concerned about?
Barkha, at the onset, congratulations that Mojo Story is back, and I'm sorry for the trauma you had to go to.
Yes, thank
we
you.
actually No, in this country, we require independent journalism, and there's so much respect for the work you do. So all of us are collectively relieved that you're back. So thank you, Barkha, for being back.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
As I said last time on the Mojo Story, of course, the Congress should be concerned with or without PK. Sachin Pilot is a name that he's not simply a Gujjar leader. He cuts across caste lines. He will not just affect Rajasthan, but in the Madhya Pradesh Chambal belt, there is significant vote. Yashwant will be able to throw more light on it, where Sachin will have some sort of a sway that will affect Kamal Nath's perspectives. It shouldn't be happening. And the fact is that Venugopal ji had to come out a reason why South Indians should not be imposed on Hindi and had to speak rather than Rahul ji shows the fact that the matter is not yet solved. But I also want to take this one step further. And I'll put a caveat. I'm close to Sachin. I am, of course, a Congress supporter. I also think Sachin is not sure on what his next steps are. And Sachin, unfortunately, finds himself between the hard rock and the deep sea. And he's not able to move one way or the other. It's okay to be within the party. It's okay if things don't work out your way. It's okay to just be campaign committee chief. But whatever it is, it has to be articulated. You cannot be having, these little showing this show of strength and not doing anything. For the Congress's sake, I hope Sachin is accommodated. Gehlot ji is a fantastic leader, but Sachin is the future. Make him campaign committee chief. He needs an assurance that it's not Vaibhav Gehlot. I think the Congress needs to put in more effort and solve this. Neither leader should go. And that's the visual of why Venugopal ji not be speaking in Hindi.
Yes, that is a rather unrepeatable play on a certain word that we shall avoid. Let me ask you this, Tehseen. Has the Karnataka win made the Congress complacent?
If the Congress, and it's a much more intelligent party than all our collective wisdom, thinks that Karnataka is going to change the national perspective, that is wrong. Congress national elections are different from Karnataka state elections. The Congress may still end up winning Madhya Pradesh and Chhattisgarh, but it does not mean that it will win the 2024. However, there is a caveat here, not for the Congress but for the BJP. The BJP has a lot of infighting as well in Rajasthan, and while things are not great for the Congress, it's also not great for the BJP. And my feeling is Vasundhara ji also hopes the BJP doesn't cross 105, so that if it's 130, 135 plus BJP, she's not becoming chief minister. So in a certain way, Vasundhara ji also hopes that the BJP is at 105, 107. So I think there's a lot of interplay in Rajasthan between the Congress and the BJP, but Sachin must be resolved, such an issue.
And that's why I opened by saying that both the parties face actually a leadership challenge in their respective parties in Rajasthan. And Yashwant has some very interesting data. But before I come to him, and before I come to Asif Bhamla of the BJP, I just want to play out what Sukhjinder Singh Randhawa of the Congress, the General Secretary in charge of the state, said. He, of course, said this is all speculation when reporters asked him, are PK and Pilot joining hands? Listen in.
मैं आपसे सुन रहा हूँ, तो मेरा ख्याल ऐसी कोई बात नहीं है, ना ही उनकी पहले मन था ना ही अब मन है। आज कैबिनेट की मीटिंग है, क्या कोई पार्टी बनाने जा रहे हैं सर 11 जून? मैं आपसे सुन रहा हूँ, तो मेरा ख्याल ऐसी कोई बात नहीं है, ना ही उनकी पहले मन था ना ही अब मन है। आज कैबिनेट की मीटिंग है, क्या कोई
मैं आपसे सुन रहा हूं is all he says when reporters suggest that on the 11th of June, a day when Mr. Pilot will be holding a prayer meeting in memory of his father, Rajesh Pilot, will also be the day that he announces his own party. Asif Bhamla, the BJP doesn't have it too smooth in Rajasthan either. Vasundhara Raje Scindia is your most prominent face, but one that the BJP seems to be in a hurry to dump. Maybe that will change after the experience in Karnataka. What do you say?
No, there's nothing like that. I mean, of course, we've learned.
Have we lost him? Okay, I think we've lost Mr. Bhamla. So let me bring in actually Rashid at this point. Rashid, what do you think Sachin Pilot is going to do?
I think nothing. He's just going to sit tight and wait for the Congress to take some kind of decision. Barkha, we must remember in last week of May when they had met, they had decided on certain kind of roadmap, certain schedule. Now, one of the things was that the Rajasthan government would announce formation of a panel to look into the alleged, charges of corruption against Vasundhara Raje government, and that's not happened. So, Mr. Sachin Pilot is just waiting. I'm not so sure whether PK has joined formally with Sachin Pilot, because last time PK went public and he said he's not going to do this political, campaigning part. He has his own political party in Bihar, etc.
But he separates himself from IPAC, and nobody really buys that separation, right?
I mean, I can name the agency which is working for Sachin, and it's known to the Congress and central leadership. It's known as the Political Edge. It consists of some IITians, etc. So they've been assisting Sachin for not now, but for a long time. So I don't think Sachin Pilot is going to make a first move. First of all, it is the prestige of Congress party is involved, because the Congress party has given certain assurances and they've brokered peace. Now, whatever the contours of the peace, if they are not fulfilled, then the Congress will be making a public declaration, and perhaps then Sachin will form a kind of front within the Congress and invite the way VP Singh and several others have done in the past, and wait for expulsion, become a kind of ring of martyrdom, and then it will unfold. But I don't see all that happening, actually.
Yeah. So what do you see happening then? If you don't see that happening, what do you see happening?
I think it's a test for Mr. Kharge to, kind of accomplish or fulfill whatever he says. If the Congress government in Rajasthan cannot appoint a committee to look into the, allegations of corruption that are figured in the election manifesto, then is it a Congress government? And this is the question that needs to be asked.
Yeah, I want Tehseen to respond to that later, but I first want to bring up Yashwant, because we were going through the sea voter data, Yashwant, on Rajasthan, and it's very, very interesting, the questions that you actually posed. So let me hand it over to you, and we'll get the slides up as you take us through some of the key questions. But let me ask you for an overview as we're getting your slides, ready. How seriously does the Congress need to actually take this, Yashwant?
Well, I think Congress, on the contrary, I feel they should not take it any seriously anymore, simply because Congress is doomed in Rajasthan, at least for this election cycle. So no matter what they do, Sachin Pilot remain in the party. Sachin Pilot goes outside the party. Right now, the anti-incumbency levels are so high that probably by the time the elections will happen, regardless of who is the chief minister and how he is kind of compensated or what, this is not going to help. If he goes on his own, it is only going to add to the problem of the Congress. Whatever votes, 5, 6, 10, 15, I don't know. We haven't done any study on that. Whatever he polls will be a vote which will be coming from the kitty of the Congress. And it is going to only, add to the problem of the Congress. So obviously, it is a state where Congress should have been doing very well. It is a state where if the things would have run smoothly, Congress could have been looking at a second, back-to-back mandate. But something in there, in the data, I feel this is not going to end well for Congress.
So your words were the Congress is doomed in Rajasthan, whether or not they handle the leadership crisis. And I want to bring up the numbers now that you've posed specifically. If we can bring up those slides, they're coming up now. And you started by looking at what should Sachin Pilot do? Form a new party, join the BJP, stay in the Congress, don't know. And what I found interesting about this is almost as many people think he should join the BJP as they think that they should stay in the Congress. What do you make of these numbers of your survey, Yashwant?
Well, obviously, there are approximately the similar number of people from across the political line who feel that, okay, if he comes on our side or if he stays on our side, he will do good. My interest is more in the red one, that he should form a new party. That 20% doesn't mean that he is going to get 20% vote, Barkha. It is those 20% which is kind of part support from the Congress supporters saying that, okay, he should form a new party. Part support from the BJP guys who feel that if he forms a new party, it would be benefit the BJP. Part support of Pilot's own supporters who want him to form a new party, at least to go through this, get over this humiliation on day-to-day basis. So, whichever way you look at it, Barkha, I mean, things are not looking good. That's what I wanted to say. You can take glass half full, glass half empty, this or that way. But I don't know. I mean, Tehseen would probably agree with me. It's a 5 years. First of all, let's understand that Rajasthan, in any case, has been a very, very classic pendulum state of 5 years change of government.
But Yashwant, look at your next question. Will Sachin Pilot's yatra, Mr. Pilot has been taking out a yatra through the state, will it damage the Congress? A lot of people, 41.7% seem to believe that it will damage the Congress, which means he's not a write-off in Rajasthan, even though he does not have the support of the majority legislators. Yashwant?
Of course, yes. I mean, that's what I'm trying to say, that big number of BJP supporters, a big number of Congress supporters, they would say that he is going to inflict a lot of damage to the Congress. Significant number of Congress supporters are going to say, yes, damage, but not that much, we'll somehow pull through kind of sentiment. But that's a big number. So what the point that I want to make is that I don't know if he makes his own party, how much electorally successful that party would be, because it has been a traditionally bipolar state. That is unlikely to make him overnight a player who would win, say, 20, 30 seats and make the contest as a triangular one and result in a hung assembly where he would become the kingmaker or king himself, like JDS was 5 years back in Karnataka. That's not happening. Damage, definitely, it is happening. How much he can score on his own, unlikely.
Let's quickly go through some of the other slides. Can Gehlot join hands with the BJP? I want to just hold this here because we'll come back to the other slides later. And there are 27.5% of BJP supporters who seem to believe that this can happen, 18.3% of Congress, and overall 23%. So not too many people, Yashwant, actually believe this can happen.
Yeah, it's not happening. It's unlikely. At best, that's more of a muscle flexing to the Congress leadership. See, I sat with the Prime Minister. He praised me. I praised him. And I can do something which you cannot think about. So don't touch me. Just leave me
Yeah.
alone. It's that kind of muscle flexing. But let's be very upfront on that one, Barkha. That Congress, like Karnataka, did win Rajasthan purely on the muscle of its supporters and its a party infrastructure led by Sachin Pilot. So the face was Sachin Pilot. If you ask the other way around, I don't think, even though I agree with Tehseen that he is a significant mass leader, I understand that. But the mandate, Barkha, was not for Mr. Gehlot 5 years back. The mandate was very clearly for Sachin Pilot's face. So there was something wrong that was done 5 years back. But Mr. Gehlot, I don't think that he also has any political future if he tries to do or say something going against the party high command and going. So the problem here is, Barkha, that which I would like to understand from Rashid Bhai. If it is the Congress victory and everything was so keen, why was the Congress leadership kind of so helpless, so unable to take the right step? So, I mean, why did they wait so long to get it doomed all over? That's what makes me surprising, the way they handled their own.
Let Rashid briefly respond, and the other two slides that you have on the BJP, I'll discuss with Mr. Asif Bhamla. Rashid, go ahead. What do you agree with Yashwant that the mistake made was the last time, when the Congress was able to form the government? Mr. Gehlot was a mistake at that time. Do you agree?
Yeah, obviously, I mean, Barkha, it's very simple, very short. 14th of December, when the result came out, 2018, Mr. Sachin Pilot lands in Delhi, heads for Tughlaq Crescent, where Rahul Gandhi used to stay. Mr. Ashok Gehlot, who won from Sardarpura, he lands in Delhi and he heads for the 23, that Mother Teresa Road, Ahmed Patel's house. And you know the outcome.
Yeah. And are you saying, do you agree with Yashwant that that was a fatal error?
Absolutely, as was, I mean, all three states actually, and Rahul Gandhi moved up in a very big way, and he's still, paying. He and the entire Congress party is paying the price for it.
Right. So I think we have the unequivocal answer there, Yashwant, to your question. Now, what I want to do now is to actually go to Asif Bhamla and bring up the next two slides that we have, which are looking specifically at the question of the BJP. Here, will the BJP drop Vasundhara as the chief minister's face? So this is still sticking with Mr. Deshmukh's survey, and an overwhelming number of people surveyed seem to believe that yes, that's what's going to happen. That has been, of course, the buzz. 47.2% believe that this is going to happen. But interestingly, when people are asked who is the tallest leader of the BJP, if we can move to the next slide, the biggest face of the BJP in Rajasthan, an overwhelming number of people place her above Gajendra Shekhawat and Satish Punya, other leaders who were considered for the leadership. So, Mr. Bhamla, we lost you the last time. I was saying you have also a leadership crisis for your party in Rajasthan.
Well, no, I think as I earlier mentioned that there could have been issues. It happens with all the parties. But after Karnataka, we have done a lot of introspection with a lot of shortcomings there. We are in a position to get things aligned together in a much appropriate manner. As far as Rajasthan is concerned, I think senior leaders, Mr. J.P. Nadda ji and B.L. Santoshi ji have already completed a few rounds of meeting with Mrs. Sindhya. So I personally think that everything is in proper order as far as the party, the leadership there locally in Rajasthan is concerned, number one. Number two, what we are harping on and what we will be really looking at is something which is going to be of benefit to us. Whether Sachin leaves the Congress or he's with the Congress is a secondary issue, and we're not bothered about it. This is their internal issue. They better sort that, put their house in order. What we're interested is that Sachin was the face of the electoral face in the last election. The party, like Mr. Kidwai mentioned, won on the basis of Sachin's face, and of course he was demoralized and he was not given that placement. And but that's not the case. That's not something new with the Congress. That's
would you like to see Sachin join the BJP?
No, let me complete my point first. So it's been the trend with the Congress. अगर आप देखें तो बड़े बड़े नेता जो वहां से निकले
जी
कहीं उनके साथ जो अन्याय हुआ, आप जगन मोहन रेड्डी को ले लीजिए, आंध्र प्रदेश में इज बिकम अ चीफ मिनिस्टर ऑन हिज ओन. अगर आप देखें हेमंत विश्व शर्मा, तो यंग लीडर्स का एक बहुत बड़ा इश्यू है. I don't know whether they are leaders, especially Rahul Gandhi, or he feels that these young leaders are a threat to him. So which is why they're cut to size. Whether you go to see Jyotir
okay
Scindia,
but
Jaivir
given
Shekhar. No, I've not got sufficient time compared to like if you see Jaivir Shergill also. So all these young leaders, if you see even Shashi Tharoor, he's a dear friend. He's been wasted in the party. So all the young leaders have been facing this challenge, and so Sachin been facing this challenge. And I don't know how much successfully Congress will be able to overcome, but we will certainly, with the
can I come in?
disgruntledness that is there in them, we would. There are certain issues which I want to say, which I'll furthermore say.
Okay, all right. The slides on our screen right now are about Miss Scindia, and I'm sure Yashwant can explain them better. Tehseen had a brief interjection, then Avinash, who's been waiting very patiently. Tehseen, go ahead.
Yeah, just a quick one. I had to take this pot shot at Asif Bhai. Two pot shots. One, his young friend and my young friend Shashi Tharoor is older than Rahul Gandhi in age, but a larger pot shot. Since Mr. Nadda and B.S. Santosh are sorting everything out, please request Mr. Nadda to appoint an LOP in Karnataka, which they haven't been able to do. That the introspection is over. And Mr. Santosh is the reason why Karnataka lost, BJP lost Karnataka. So I'm glad that they're introspecting, but I had to take this pot shot since you kept the field open for me.
Okay, Mr. Bhamla can respond later. I want to bring in Avinash. If we can just rotate these slides and look at the different very interesting outcomes in Yashwant's survey. Avinash, when you look at these numbers, what should Sachin Pilot do? Will Gehlot and Scindia join hands and so on? What's your own take?
Barkha, it's like the old Hindi story, Sher Aaya, Sher Aaya. In Rajasthan, it's been going on for 2.5 years. Everybody says, will Sachin Pilot form a party on 11th? My question is, will the Congress High Command ever take an action 11th or even after that? Every single day, they are losing things on ground. There is no cadre in place. There is no party in place. They are way too busy talking about two senior leaders that even if they resolve that, I agree with what the numbers that are being shown by Yashwant's team, that, on the ground, no matter what they do, they are being doomed. But I'll just add to that, if they're able to resolve the crisis, their numbers in the opposition would be a little better. Otherwise, not. They are doing
So here's my question, Avinash. If Congress believes they're going to lose anyway, there's very little incentive for them to put their house in order.
I agree, but they have to look at it. Who takes this house or a wrecked house again for the next 5 years? And I completely agree with what Yashwant has said, that Mr. Gehlot has reached an age where he can't run for the next 5 years and hold fort. So you need a new leadership. And the Congress's biggest problem is, apart from Sachin Pilot, they have not groomed any other leader to take that mantle forward. Congress in Rajasthan is absolutely divided between two people for the last 6 years: Ashok Gehlot, Sachin Pilot. The PCC chief is redundant. Mr. Randhawa, he's been saying, nobody listens to the old man.
I was just going to say that the person you're calling the old man today made a statement saying that old people should give up their fascination for power. This was Mr. Randhawa's statement. Was he hinting in Mr. Gehlot? Is anybody going to take that
Well,
cue?
you should not take Mr. Randhawa's statement too seriously. Every 2 hours he changes them.
Okay, we're getting lots of comments from Asif Bhai, I'm coming to you in just a second. We have Shikha Rakshit saying Pilot is another Scindia. He will break Congress whatever position he's given. And then a very different view from Praveen, who says Pilot should be made the deputy ASAP and the Rajasthan Congress president. If anyone has to go, then let it be the stammering chief minister Ashok Gehlot. Pilot is the future. So two very different comments there. Asif Bhai, go ahead.
Listening to Mr. Randhawa, your chief minister is not listening to the high command. Forget listening to Randhawa here. So I mean, that's nothing big and different,
Yeah. Okay. Let me come back to Yashwant for a moment. Yashwant, we've spoken a lot about the Congress conundrum. If we can change the slides to Vasundhara Raje. Yeah, there. Just hold that slide. Okay. Will BJP drop Vasundhara? At least before Karnataka, everybody believed that was going to happen. Now we don't know. Now, if you look at the next slide, here's the conundrum. Vasundhara Raje was not even made the leader of the opposition after the BJP lost Rajasthan the last time. A first-time MLA like Mr. Punya was actually tried to be given a profile. So is Mr. Gajendra Shekhawat. But yet, people believe that she is the tallest leader of the BJP. How will the BJP reconcile this problem, Yashwant?
Well, I don't know. They do have a problem. The only solution, only way out, as Tehseen indicated in a very classical way, that even Vasundhara Raje would pray that BJP wins, but just about wins. And if there is a sweep like 130, 140, 150 for BJP, then this is where people's apprehension will be that BJP might drop Vasundhara Raje because they will have enough number. The problem for the BJP is that among their lot, they tried really, really hard to project Gajendra Shekhawat. They tried really hard to project other people as well. But even after so much of pumping by the central leadership, they are nowhere near the popularity of Vasundhara Raje even today. So they do have a problem in their hands. How they are going to look at it, that is something to be seen. However, I wonder if while we have been over-analyzing Karnataka, Barkha, I think at some point of time, BJP also realized that they are going to lose Karnataka, and with the changing of Mr. Yedurappa and everything, they were at least bravely trying to do which the party would benefit in the long term in 5 or 10 odd years to come. At least give credit for that. What I find it difficult to understand that in a clear-cut scenario where, you won a mandate in the name of Mr. Pilot, you denied that thing to him. But even today, after 5 years of power given to Mr. Gehlot, even today, they are unable to figure a way out to say that, okay, Mr. Gehlot, your innings is now over. You wanted this, but now the future, we have to put everything behind Mr. Sachin Pilot. Make him the deputy CM, make him the president, whichever way you wish to look at it. They are not playing for the future. That's the problem. BJP, even in its defeat in Karnataka, has placed itself very well for the future. I can give you in writing. Because, Barkha, we have discussed this. The way they gave 46 Vocaliga tickets, even though they got defeated, they are aiming at a future. Congress, on the other hand, even with the clear and present danger, they are not aiming at the future. That's the problem.
I think that's an excellent point. Avinash, I can see you wanting to add something to it, and then I'll come to Asif, Bhamla, Tehseen, and Rashid in that order. Avinash Kaladu, go ahead.
Barkha, one more thing. I would like to say that we are all saying things that Vasundhara Raje is the face, or these things are going. We forget the whole line that the BJP High Command is strong. It's not like the Congress Party. In BJP, hoi voi jo Modi rachi rakha. The moment Modi decides, or they think that, even other than these three faces, if they put another fourth face in, nobody will revolt at the moment. And even in defeat, in last election, they were defeated in the assembly. They got 73, but they won all 25 Lok Sabha seats. So BJP is placed in a position where they can take a call. It's a state where the Prime Minister's popularity is not going down. On the other hand, yes,
but Karnataka tells you that the BJP can't win local elections on the Prime Minister's popularity alone.
I'll tell you one more thing. There is a language barrier as well. It's a Hindi heartland, and whenever you go, if there is a regional language where the Prime Minister's communication skills or his antics don't work straight away with the people, BJP finds itself in trouble. It's a Hindi heartland state. Wherever we move, and to BJP's credit, I always say that they've got 5-6 aspirants looking for the top job. Everybody will try to win the maximum number of seats to take a shot at the bigger place. So they are very well placed. Even Ms. Raje knows it, and she's placing it very well. They are not fighting like Mr. Gehlot and Mr. Pilot. They do their photo ops. Their leaders are cordial. They all come together. Ask them, they are there. These two gentlemen in that meeting also. In this photo op as well, the reports came out that both the leaders met the High Command in different time spaces. First, the time was allotted to Mr. Gehlot, then the picture then Mr. Pilot, they don't even talk of this. But in BJP, you don't see that. At the rallies and you will see Vasundhara Raje chatting away with a Gajendra Singh Shekhawat or a Gulab Kataria or a Satish Punia. They exchange greetings, they talk to each other. So it is not a house like that. And I think they all remember whatever the Prime Minister decides, we will do and we'll stay back in.
No,
So, and mind you, Miss Raje is not Ashok Gehlot, who will be very adamant. She would accommodate.
Yeah, I was just going to raise the point that can the BJP is one of the lessons from the BJP in Karnataka that you can't win on double engine if one engine is not perceived to be strong. That's the only point I'm making. Not that the BJP leadership would revolt against the central leadership's decision, but Asif Bhamla, Mr. Gehlot said that Vasundhara Raje ji came to his rescue when Sachin Pilot was trying to break his government. We have not spoken enough about this. How do you as a BJP leader see that comment?
Well, let me first reciprocate to a very fine point which Yashwan exhibited, that Karnataka mein BJP had the courage to show the gate and to tell the senior most veteran Yediyurappa to step down and have Basavaraj Bommai there. Though Yediyurappa was very competent, but as we see a very futuristic leadership, we develop the leadership. That's why we may have lost. But if you see, the voting percentages are still intact. At least we have the courage. Where has the Congress got the courage? आपने वहां चेहरा बना के सचिन पायलट को चुनाव भर में दूल्हा बना के घुमाया. जब आपने उसको स्थान देना था, तब आपने अशोक गहलोत के प्रेशर में आके उसके ब्लैकमेलिंग पर आकर you became a party to that. At least that's not the case in the BJP. We are strong. We have a strong mind, and we have done, and we have a narrative right. Now, coming back to the situation in Rajasthan, let me tell you, we don't have to do much. Sachin has already taken sufficient rallies on the corruption issues, on the women issues of the kidnapping, the abduction. You know, recently that happened in Jaisalmer.
But he's accusing Mr. Gehlot and Ms. Scindia of being hand in glove. आपके लीडर और अपने लीडर के बारे में कह रहे हैं ये इनकी एक ही साइड है.
देखिए, रिश्ते हर एक के होते हैं. यहाँ पर हमारे महाराष्ट्र में भी एक परंपरा है कि we share good relationships. Pawar Sahab is respected by Devendra ji. In fact, they go in the same car. So you can't. They've been to functions together on the same car. We have seen the media's covered that. So that you can't derive or you can't jump into those conclusions. Personal relations are beyond party lines. I and Tehseen are the best friends. We may not agree to a lot of things, but we are very good friends. So that's not an issue. My issue here is that you know what's the ground reality in Rajasthan. ये दो जो लोग लड़ रहे, इसमें ही पार्टी व्यस्त है, नेता व्यस्त है. The women that were forcibly married by a kidnapper, a 23-year-old girl has been adopted. And not only that, there are a lot of rape incidences where son ministers, MLA are involved, and the CM is silent. And 1 second, I want to ask, where is the Nara of Ladki whom I lad sakti hu? What's happening? Is that not applicable for a place like Rajasthan? So these are all optics. We are going to win Rajasthan. Let me put this clear to you in this debate, and we shall meet in future. Thank you.
Okay. Let me get your good friend Tehseen to respond to you. You have put so much passion on the table, and you've caveated that Tehseen aapka dost hai. Tehseen, is your dosti with Asif bhai like Vasundhara ji's dosti with Ashok Gehlot ji?
I promise you, if I had to save Asif Bhai's government, I wouldn't do it like Vasundhara ji is alleged to have saved Ashok Bhai's government. I can promise you that. I would make sure he is not in government, so I can remain in power. But let's get to the bottom of each thing. So
I think Asif Bhai is wanting to say something to you.
Yeah.
Asif Bhai,
if that's the case, if that's the case, Tehseen, be happy and be very thankful to the BJP in that case. एटलीस्ट एक राज्य की बढ़ोतरी तो रही है आपके पास इन योर किटी, वरना वो भी सरकार गिर जाती है आपकी. अगर आप ये मानते हैं तो ये मैं नहीं कह रहा हूँ, आप कह रहे हो, इसलिए मैं आपको सबमिट कर रहा हूँ.
In the meantime, we also have our own poll of our viewers on what might happen in Rajasthan. Let's bring that up. Tehseen, go ahead. Yeah.
So a lot of things are being confused. One, I agree with Avinash ji and Yashwant ji. Karnataka and Rajasthan cannot be compared at all. While I disagree that BJP is forming a government, a future leadership in Karnataka, it's completely messed up Karnataka. But the Congress is no better, even despite winning Karnataka. If I was in charge of Congress today, I would immediately have accommodated Jagdish Shettar and the deputy chief minister from BJP who came, and given them importance, because you got the Lingayat vote to come swing for the first time from the BJP. So these are issues of Karnataka. They should not be confused in Rajasthan. In Rajasthan in 2018, when I was there for a whole good month and a half before the elections, there was one nara which Avinash ji and Yashwant ji will remember in you, Barkha. Modi tujhse bair nahi, Vasundhara teri khair nahi. So Modi ji does override a lot of factors. But does that mean he can even override in a Hindi heartland state? No. Himachal has shown us that a Hindi heartland state, if the Congress fights and sticks to the issues unitedly, it can win. However, unitedly is the key. Now, the key is Ashok ji is the present. The allegation is Sachin Pilot's revolted, yes. But who did he revolt against? He revolted against Ashok Gehlot. Ashok Gehlot ji also disagreed. Who did he disagree against? Sonia ji. So both sides have valid arguments. The present is Ashok ji as a majority of the MLAs, but majority of the MLAs are with the CM and the High Command. Who is the future? That is the call. My solution is this. Appoint Sachin as, see, I'm not going to make him deputy chief minister, wo nahi hoga. Ashok ji won't let him be PCC. I'll just end in one line. Make Sachin campaign committee chief and declare whether Congress is CM, will win the election, or opposition, he will be LOP or CM. Declare it and move from 25 today to about 50-55. Today, you're in a very bad position, and I'm a die-hard Congress supporter. This will affect Congress in Madhya Pradesh in the Chambal area, and it'll affect Kamal Nath. It's not fair on him. He's set to be chief minister. So resolve this not for Rajasthan, but for MP.
There's a contours of a formula there. Let me get Rashid before I give Yashwant the last word. Also, very interestingly, more than 50% of at least our viewers believe that Sachin Pilot should remain in the Congress, and about 23% believe he should join the BJP and form his own party is only about 21%. This is a real-time poll, obviously not the sample size and the science of the Sea Voter survey, but just a quick dipstick mood test. Rashid, go ahead.
Yeah, so I think, Barkha, yes, this finding is also very true, because if you look at all the breakaway groups of the Congress, they have been successful when they were in linguistic states, not in the Hindi heartland. Other than Charan Singh, nobody, has been successful in the Hindi heartland, to break ranks from Congress and form a political party and emerge as a big person. I think the Congress leadership has a very ostrich-like approach. There's a lot of political kho that goes on in the Congress. Mr. Kharge thinks that it will be, Rahul Gandhi, and so to say, the family will take a call. Family thinks it is Mr. Kharge's headache. Kharge passes it on to Venugopal and Sukhjinder. All kind of drama is going on. End of the day, there is a very simple thing. There are some very basic steps that need to be taken against the, so to say, seemingly against the BJP regime, and that is not happening. So I think it's a matter of timing. I know I don't want to get into many detail. Every day it's given like it's happening tomorrow.
But you made the important point that contrary to media reports, it isn't the IPAC, but a former set of consultants. This is what I've heard as well. A former set of consultants that used to work with Prashant Kishor, who are now advising Sachin Pilot. So there's no Sachin PK nexus, according to you, Rashid.
Yeah, so I'm saying these are all the sort of media narrative, and there is a lot of, Avinash is there, so there's the design box, and all kind of things are being spread to, damage the kind of contender and vitiate the political atmosphere in Rajasthan. So it's happening. I think Prashant Kishor has taken a principled stand that after, Bengal, he is not indulging in this kind of political consultancy business, and rather after Goa, and he is sticking to that.
Okay, Yashwant Deshmukh, the last word. Since you opened by saying the Congress is doomed either way, if you were advising the Congress today, what would you advise them?
I would advise on the same line that Tehseen is advising: accommodate, keep Pilot intact. Say sorry to him first of all. Apologize to him that we did not do what we promised to you, but this is what we are compensating, and future is all yours. Please stay in the party. That is what I would say and do. BJP doesn't need Pilot. BJP's purpose is solved even if Pilot makes his own party. I, like Rashid Bhai, don't think that he has hired PK because, as Tehseen is a very dear friend of Pilot, and I also know him, Sachin cannot afford PK. I mean, at this point of time. And if he has hired PK, that simply means BJP has decided to lend PK to him in a way to ensure that he makes his own party and divides the Congress votes, and which eventually helps BJP, cross like almost 130, 140, 150 mark, which will make BJP's task easier even to replace Vasundhara Raje. So that if at all, if it is in that line, it must be in that line. But otherwise, if I have to advise Congress, just go all out and placate Pilot, do what Tehseen is saying, make sure that he believes that the future is his within the Congress. He also knows, even if he is made the deputy CM this election, they are not going to win. Pilot knows that very well. But the thing that Congress really needs to do is to make him believe that there is future for Pilot in the Congress. Right now, I don't think he thinks that there is future for him in the Congress, and that is where the trouble is. So unless that is done, this is going south.
Well, that is the bottom line. It's going south for the Congress either way, but can it actually arrest some of the fall? That is where I think the question that Yashwant is posing needs an answer. We leave it there to Rashid, Asif Bhai, to Avinash, and to Tehseen and Yashwant. Always a pleasure. And to our audience, thank you. See you soon. We started Mojo right here in this basement. Just 4 people, 4. And now we're about to hit our first 1 million subscribers. So this is to say thank you to all of you for your support, for your respect, and for your encouragement. We've always gone to where the story is. During the pandemic, when television's big anchors were hunkered down in their studios or at their homes, we hit the road. We traveled from Delhi to Kerala, covering 30,000 kilometers in our small car, reporting from inside ICUs and inside slum tenements. Whether it's flash floods or war zones, we've always put our boots on the ground. In fact, we're just back from Punjab, tailing the Khalistani fugitive Amritpal Singh. And through all of this, we have always put you, the people, first. In an age of partisan polarized media where most journalists are either chamcha ya morcha, we believe the story is sacred and the truth of the story is what matters. And now as we get ready for the next step, we need your help. Become a Mojo member and get first access to all our big interviews. Get a chance to ask our newsmakers questions. Get a chance to write and report for us for both our website and our channels. And also, interact with me and my colleagues directly through AMA sessions. Literally, ask me anything. Click on the join now right next to the subscribe button, and yes, also subscribe if you haven't yet, and become a Mojo member for just 159 rupees a month. Hope to see lots of you in our community. It's great to see you here. Thank you for watching our work. If you haven't subscribed yet, don't forget to click the bell icon and subscribe to Mojo Story and support independent, robust journalism.